What's up? I'm Kyle.
And I'm Haley, and welcome to Till Death Do We Travel. This week we're bringing you an episode of Beer and Gear, the Wedding Edition. Episode 2.
Episode 2.
This one's gonna be super special. Some people may know, a lot of people may not. We got married again on February 25th of this year. And for the beer that we're gonna be reviewing this week, it's actually one that was custom made for our wedding by our dear friends Caleb and Sarah. They didn't just do one, they did 3. My bag successfully transported them back to Ireland. So no fancy labels or anything, but
I think that label pretty fancy.
yeah, oh totally. It's very, so it's labeled pale. I'm normally not a pale ale drinker, but this one's fantastic. It's called the Poisonberry Pale. And the fun story behind that is actually last summer, Sarah and Caleb came over for a trip to Belfast. And we were up at Giant's Causeway, and Caleb noticed that there were berries growing alongside the highway. And he started picking them and eating them without inspecting them for very long. So my immediate thing was like, those are probably poison berries. You're gonna die. So he didn't die. So on our way back up, we ate a bunch of really incredible, they were probably boysenberries, because they used a boysenberry puree in this pale ale. Really dry, really hoppy, really delicious, and I'm so excited to drink it again. I missed it. So here's a toast to a very successful wedding, an incredible honeymoon. To our really good friends, Sarah and Caleb. We love you. We love you so dearly. Turns into Treasures on Facebook if you guys are interested in seeing what they're creating besides beer and their adorable dogs. And yeah, cheers.
It's like if beer and a smoothie had a delicious baby.
Kind of. Absolutely. And I think the reason why I love it is because pale ales for me usually are too hoppy. And this one with the fruit just gives it like a completely different personality. So it's amazing.
I love that. That is delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for all of this beer. I'm going to drink it all. What else we got?
Well, why don't you tell everybody what I got you for our gifts?
She got me a drone. I'm so excited. I've wanted a drone for so long, and I've been begging her to get me one.
It's almost like people that really want to have babies. This is how badly Kyle has wanted a drone. And since we're not having kids, we just have to have toys and dogs. And so Kyle got a drone. Why don't you show it to him?
I already unboxed it, but if we want to check out the unboxing, let's do that right now. So the drone, it's super small. That's the thing I love about it. It's the Mavic Air, if you didn't gather that already. Now, a lot of people say that it's the size of a smartphone. I don't know what kind of Nokia brick you're carrying around these days, but this is bigger than a smartphone. It is very small. It can fit into pretty much any backpack. The case adds like a little bit to it, but I carry it around in my backpack. I go to work with it. I sit at a desk all day. Like, I don't need a drone, but I just have it because you never know.
Because that's how much he loves this thing.
Yeah, and then if you just have a drone everywhere, then you never know if you want to fly a drone. So yeah, it's super small. The controller packs down really nice and small as well. Basically just super, super portable. I love that the joysticks screw off and kind of hide within here. That's wonderful. The drone itself, I mean, what's not to like? It's pretty much perfect. There's a few little things here and there that I don't like, but overall first impressions are phenomenal. We've taken this thing with us to Iceland. We took it on a French road trip through Normandy. I've flown it in the park a few times. Overall, super, super impressed with it. One thing that I don't particularly enjoy is you can't charge it through a USB cable. It uses USB-C, but you cannot charge it through the USB-C cable, so you have to actually take out the battery, plug it into the wall, so you end up carrying around the big charger with you as well, which kind of defeats the purpose of the small drone itself. It's also very hard to get this little micro SD card out. I have some trouble with it, but I'm sure you'll figure it out.
You just gotta use little hands.
Yeah, little hands. Can you get it out?
Yeah. Ta-da!
Boom, there it is.
Easy. You just
Put it back
gotta,
in.
you know, this is what relationships are for, to do little small mundane tasks you can't quite get. Boom!
There we go.
Hey, loose hands are
No,
effective.
that's why we have a wife. At any rate, I mean, this thing is awesome. You have 4K at 25 or 30 frames per second. You have 2K, which is actually quite nice, at 60 frames per second or the 25 or 30. And then you can do full 1080p at 120 frames per second. Pretty freaking awesome. I mean, let's just think about this for a second. For $800, you can have a 4K camera that fits in your backpack that flies by itself. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. What technology can do these days is crazy. It folds up nice and easy. Fold these out.
I was just trying
Fold
to
these
figure
little
out
guys
how to do that.
around.
Clearly, I haven't played
And
with
then
this.
the best part, look at the little feet.
Just flip them. Look at that.
The intelligent flight modes are pretty solid. I don't use them a ton, so like the quick shot modes, they're a little bit buggy here and there. You've seen probably now the asteroid one. Maybe I'll insert a clip here of what the asteroid looks like. There's some times when it goes way up in the air and then loses connection, and you don't actually know that it didn't take the full asteroid until you get home later and it's only half an asteroid and it's a world cut in half and it's not that cool. That kind of leads me to one of the things that I dislike about it. It does use a Wi-Fi connection for the controller, which if you're anywhere near civilization, because everything has Wi-Fi, it's pretty easy to get disconnected or have some connection interference. So it says that it has a range of about 3 miles, but in all honesty, I've rarely ever gotten it to go past where I can see it. That said, I mean, 4K flying device for $800 that fits in your pocket almost. Pretty freaking cool. I don't know. Fantastic, super responsive, really easy to fly. Can kind of help fly itself and do the active track. One thing that I would kind of caution you on, however, try not to fly it in super low light conditions. You're gonna want to get some ND filters, which I just kind of keep in the back of my case there for when it is bright out.
So what they look like, they're just itty bitty guys. They screw right on.
These ones screw right onto the front of the lens. These are the ones from Polar Pro. I'll toss a link down in the description of this video. Once you do get into some low light scenarios though, anytime you go above ISO around 400, it does start to get a little grainy. I'm gonna show you a picture that I took here at Etretat, where it does get a little bit grainy in the corner. So that's one thing to kind of keep an eye out for.
Now, is that something that can be edited post-processing?
The grain, yes, you could probably reduce it a little bit, but then the whole image gets a little bit cartoony looking. So I would personally say like keep it below ISO 400 if possible. Another nice thing there, you have the DCNA profile, and you can obviously shoot in RAW at 12 megapixels. So you have a fantastic camera that, as I mentioned, it flies in the air. That's super, super, super cool. You can get some crazy shots that you would probably never get before. Like this one from Iceland, I flew above one of the waterfalls and then it revealed this massive landscape above the waterfall that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah. So, best wedding gift ever?
Best wedding gift ever. Best money
Yes.
that drone can buy. Best drone that money can buy. There it is.
And as somebody who is gifting this, just make sure that you are buying the protection plan on it, because you never know what's going to happen. There, like he was talking about the Wi-Fi connectivity. if there's any type of accident, you want to make sure that it's covered, and just protect your investments always, especially with pieces of equipment like this. So.
Two additional pro tips. I would say, I did not follow this one obviously. I would buy the red one because it's easier to see in the air, and then it's also easier to see if you crash it. This, if it crashes into anywhere dark or into a bush or something, my ability to find this is pretty limited. So that's a pro tip that I wish I had taken myself.
Interesting.
And then one other one, I would personally buy the Fly More package. You're gonna want extra batteries anyways, and those are each about $100. So for the cost of getting 2 extra batteries, you could probably just get the Fly More package, which comes with these ND filters. It comes with a bigger case, and then it also comes with a charging port. So you can kind of charge all the batteries at once. So a little bit more expensive, but if you can swing it, I would definitely say go for it. If not, still $800, flying 4K camera. Amazing.
Well, that's it for this episode of Beer and Gear. We're about to do a part 2, so stay tuned.